You ready? What up, y'all? This is the Avid Dreams podcast. My name is JASHAR.
I'm Chanel.
And we're going to be talking about, everything from the music industry to what's popping in the music industry and a little bit of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the shits immediately.
Yeah.
First off, I want to talk about R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan and hurt me deeply, honestly, to lose like our first great representation of a black superhero. So R.I.P. to him and his family, and hopefully Marvel could come up with something to get past this. Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just as an addition, like just everything he's done in his career, like he's done. Obviously we know him as Black Panther, but all of the other black legendary figures he's portrayed.
Yeah.
And he's done an amazing job at it. I knew him before he did Black Panther. When he landed it, I was like, this is amazing. And he did an outstanding job, and I was really looking forward to Black Panther 2. And the fact that he's not going to be in there to play is going to be very devastating, but I understand. This is not to take it lightheartedly, because I didn't at all, but I know it's business as usual. And they got to go on with, what they're going to do for Black Panther 2, because they have a franchise, right?
Well, me, on the other hand, I actually had no idea who he was walking into Black Panther, and when he, walked on stage with Robert Downey and Chris Evans, I was like, who's this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I was shooting for, Michael B. Jordan, because I heard he was going to be in the movie. I thought he was going to be Black Panther.
Mm.
But then Chadwick came in and knocked it out of the park, Jackie Robinson style.
Yeah, he did.
Play
So
Jackie Robinson. Remember that? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he knocked it out of the park, and he's a phenomenal actor. I've had the privilege of checking out some of his other movies.
Yeah.
Cause dude is a beast. Yeah, it's amazing that he was able to keep making movies throughout the whole cancer that he had for the past 40 years. And I'm just like, I don't know a lot of people who would have been able to get out of the bed, let alone film 3 Black Panther, performances.
Action movies,
yeah.
Dude was on the move, and I know when people have cancer, it's usually a tiring type of a disease, and obviously you're in pain too, because I'm sure he was going through. They said he was going through surgeries and all that stuff, and have to go through surgeries and all that stuff, and still get back in the game and go after what you wanted to achieve. Because I know he was in his 40s,
mm-hmm.
and he around your early 40s, late 30s, you're achieving this great level of success that you set out to have. And he was probably I understand what's going on. He got diagnosed and everything. I'm gonna do what I set here to do before I go. And he did it. And he did it seamlessly. And everybody in the Marvel Universe has respect for him. Everybody has something to say about what he did, how he played the role and everything like that. So he did an outstanding job. He deserves all the accolades he's getting.
Yeah, it kind of blew me away that the Disney CEO had something special to say about him.
Yep.
I'm like, Disney?
Yeah, I know.
The past with Disney. But you know what I'm saying? It's amazing that he was that type of, great artist to the point where everybody recognized, how great he was.
Exactly.
And once again, I want to give a quick rest in peace, maybe a moment of silence. All right, let's get into it. So the thing is that everybody's talking about right now is Black Panther 2. What's gonna pop with that? Now, there's a lot of people saying that they shouldn't recast him, and I completely agree. But there's other things that I was actually thinking about, because I'm a fan of the comic books, and I know that his little sister actually wanted to become in Black Panther in the comic books. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to become in Black Panther in the comic books. So I'm thinking not only would that be like a great idea, but it'd be like amazing for like all the little black girls, including my little black girl. Hey baby, how you doing? All the little black girls to, you know, grow up and be like, you know, I can be the king of a nation. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they go in that direction, honestly, for like the next Black Panther. But I'm just trying to figure out how they would actually write around him not being there. You know what I'm saying?
They'd have to write into the script, unless they just literally like, because okay, this is the magical thing about the Marvel universe, right? And with what they're doing with the movies, the magical thing about this is they have been doing this for years, where they do the timeline thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if they want to jump, they can jump, and you know, maybe have they have a discussion about what occurred to the original Black Panther or anything. Like, I don't even say original because, you know, Black Panther was like a legendary, the family. So with that being said, I feel like they have flexibility that probably the other like movie production companies don't have. They already have been doing a timeline type of thing. Mm-hmm. So if they want to jump and say, hey, this is it now. This is what happened. They discuss it. This is what happened in the past. Now I'm taking out I feel like they're in a good place to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been conversation too, and this has kind of been like the controversy piece of it. Is like people talking about you will not recast, talking to Marvel people like, oh, you will not recast. I think, like, I really do think Disney understands the impact of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I don't see them trying it. I don't see them trying it, like recasting him. So I understand the frustration and everything, and I know people are like, have certain feelings about it. But I think what you were just saying is probably the best move.
Yeah, we'll
everybody
see.
likes Suri.
Well, see, there's one thing. Even if they do jump into the future with something like this, I think they're gonna have to cast somebody to like maybe be the back of his head or something, because they have to explain why he isn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
They gotta explain that way, and I don't know how they would even step into something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but that's what I was kind of going with. They have to do the flashback, or they have to have a discussion about what happened in, But I feel like we're in a good place where you can pick up in the future when Suri is Black Panther and say, hey, and she has this we can go into this whole like dramatic scene where she's just like, ever since, and she just got taken down by a villain. It's just been hard ever since, we lost, original Black Panther, we lost him, and we lost T'Challa, and I've been, dealing with it, and then you can go into this whole spiel, Ooh, I just thought about something. You remember that part where he was in that cave?
Yeah, when he died?
Yeah, but he talked to his pops. Could they not do like of that? But like obviously like it would be like one of the Tupac shows they put on where they had Tupac performing, but she could go back into that cave and she could talk to T'Challa.
Make it holographic. And
it could all like tie together. We, the audience, come full circle in the storyline. We come full circle with having that connect. And it's also like a little small connection still to Chadwick Boseman.
You got my wheels turning.
You know what I mean?
You got my wheels turning.
I feel like that could be like a piece of it. It could be really cool how they do it. There's so many different routes they can take because the Marvel universe is just so, they've been very, what's a good word for it? Like
on top, A+.
On top, amazing. A+, amazing, revolutionary with the storylines they're doing. Everybody, and they have such great character development to the point where I think everybody would be comfortable with Suri, taking the throne. I think everybody would be comfortable.
Everybody loves Suri. Everybody.
I think we'll be fine. But, I mean, obviously we're still grieving right now. We have a little bit of ways to go before Black Panther 2 comes out. But I feel like there's a lot of possibilities. Mm-hmm. And a lot of great possibilities that will fulfill what the audience will want to see. Emotionally and, still fulfilling and, them seeing their Marvel movie that they set out to see. So, right. I feel like it go in a lot of ways.
So, like, so as you guys know or don't know, probably know since you're on this YouTube channel, I'm JASHAR, artist, music artist, phenomenal, if you know what I'm saying. One of the top fucking artists of our generation.
He is.
No cap.
He's been doing it for years.
Been out here for years, upgrading my jewelry and shit. Mm-hmm. But, this year has actually been spectacular for me, and there's been like a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish this year, and I gotta say, like, I'm looking forward to like what next year is gonna be, because like right now I ain't got no money in the bank. Despite what it looks like, it looked like I got bread, you know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, I got a lot of things that are in my name, you know, and a lot of things that, you know, look great, makes it, you know, it looks great. Not a millionaire yet, but you know what I'm saying? This is something that I'm trying to obtain within the next year.
Yeah. But that's why, quote unquote, the title of being a starving artist is a thing.
Starving artist.
That's why it's a thing. Because you go through, I mean, like, you know, I always send you stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, like looking at J. Cole's old tweets of them being like, you know, I guess a normal person or whatever. And then you never know when it's going to happen for you. And you've had a really amazing year. You've had a lot of milestones happen this year. You've been working endlessly. You know, it's been a lot of stuff that's been going on that, you know, has basically like flung you into a place that you weren't last year. You might not have been, you know, years ago. Well, obviously you haven't been years ago, but I've definitely last year. And you've been doing a lot of amazing things. So, you know, as you progress, you're getting closer and closer to that space that you want to be in.
By the way, check out Therapy.
Yeah.
I just hit 20,000 plays on Spotify. Let's go.
So what are your next steps? What are your next steps and what you want to do? Which next, you know, in your career?
Actually, this is one of the big next steps right now, because I've always wanted to get into like podcasting and like talk to a bunch of different people. Mainly talk to you, you know, because this is my sister. Every time we go out in the fucking, you know, real world and shit, everybody's just like, are you guys married? Oh, this is your wife right here. No, this is my sister. This is my sister Chanel. Okay.
Hermana.
But this is one of the, she was one of the big people I wanted to, you know, have on the show and, you know, actually be like my official co-host. You know what I'm saying? Do that dance real quick. Wanted to make sure that she was my co-host because we have like a lot of good chemistry and, you know, we could talk about a lot of stuff. But podcasting was one of the big things that I wanted to tackle, you know, as the next step. I still have a video I have to shoot for Therapy. There's an album that's supposed to come out sometime this year. I'm hoping sometime in the fall. I'm trying to drop it before the winter time.
It's almost done, right?
It's almost done.
It's almost done.
I got 2 more songs I gotta record. And then, if you count that, 4 more songs to mix and master.
So you got, so most of the album's done except 2 songs, but the other 2 just need finishing touches.
Yes.
So it sounds like an actual studio production.
Yes.
Okay. Cleaning up, if you will.
And by the way, it's crack.
Of course.
Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I wound up putting out actually a lot of the tracks that's on the album. So by the time you get this album, I believe it's 13, 14 tracks maybe.
Check out the Quarantine Beat Tape too.
Quarantine Beat Tape. Yeah, that dropped.
Don't forget that.
That dropped earlier this
That shit is heat. Get that.
But
we can link this in the.
Yeah, we can put it in the box.
We can link it in the description box.
Check out the description
Yeah, 'cause
box.
you gotta check it out. And I'm picky about music, and I bump his shit. So please check it out. It's in the description box. You need to.
Also, make sure you subscribe. You hit that bell.
Ding.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that shit right off the tippity top. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna probably bring it back around by the end of this podcast. But make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
Every subscription helps. Make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. But yeah, after I finish the album, I'm thinking about doing like the whole bars series, which is basically, you know, I drop a video of me just like doing like a freestyle. I don't think I'm gonna do it every single time, like, cause I just dropped one a couple of days ago. But I don't think I'm gonna keep dropping them where, you know, I got like all the studio lights in me. I think I might start dropping them in a bunch of different locations. You know what I'm saying? But that's the short-term thing right now. Long-term, I'm looking for some labels, possibly, because, you know, independent is amazing, but like, you need a financial backer to make this shit work. You know
Definitely do.
Financial backer. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a great year for me, but another person who's had a really great year is Tory Lanez. He had a fucking phenomenal year this whole pandemic, and then he threw it away.
He fucked it up. We gonna be like A1 about it.
He fucked it up.
Like, he had quarantine. Okay, let's rewind a little bit, because I've been listening to Tory Lanez for a minute. Yeah, because I didn't really listen to Tory Lanez like that, and my brother put me on a couple of his songs, and then I would just be like, okay, he would, like, my brother would play in the car every once, I'm like, oh, and then after a while, it just get stuck in my head, so I would just listen to his stuff more often, and then it just became a staple. So with that being said, he wasn't really like, he was like, what you want to call it? Like, he was mainstream, but he wasn't mainstream. What do you call that?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
See, it kind of hurts because, like, I'm a fan.
I am too. Like, I'm not trying to roast him.
But technically, he was still like a B-lister moving his way up to the A-list.
Exactly. With that being said, that's why I wanted to backtrack before I get into what I'm about to say. Because when he did, sorry, that was loud. When he did Quarantine Radio. Quarantine. He, like, basically everybody was talking about it because it was just, like, entertaining, fun. It was, like, all of that. Like, it was fun to watch. And everybody was stuck in the house, so everybody, nobody was going to strip clubs. Nobody was going to concerts, nothing like that.
Nobody was getting to see any titties.
Yeah. So, I mean.
No ass.
Yeah. What? Anyway, so nobody was going to see any of that. Nobody was seeing tits, ass, nothing like that. So Quarantine Radio was like, hey, and it was a celebrity. Tory Lanez was like a pretty good MC the whole time. Like, he was funny. So with all that going on,
he can spit. 100%.
He can. And then we saw him getting like I guess it was like, it seemed like a friendship at first with Megan. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what was going on there. It was just like, oh, they're friends. They're like, celebrities. We're friends.
I personally think that they were actually dating.
It had to have been. There's no other reason for him to shoot her.
Even though they never came out and said we're officially dating.
Yeah.
But I feel like they date.
Which is strange. I think you know why it's strange too.
She tall as fuck.
She's like, okay, I'm 5'6".
You know what? It's not that she's tall as fuck.
It's not that.
A little short.
He is 5. Isn't he 5'3"?
Probably around there. He's like.
I am so okay. He a cool dude, but I was a little bit upset to hear that, like, that they was possibly romantically involved. Just because, like, I'm 5'6". The average height for a woman is 5'5". So I'm, like, considered on the top. Like, I'm not even tall. I'm like average, I guess. Mm-hmm. But still, there's a lot of guys that are like 5'8" or something like that, which is like still a little bit taller than me.
Right.
But she's like 5'9", so she's like up there. 5'9", 5'10". With heels on, I'm sure she's like over 6 feet.
She's definitely over 6 feet with heels on.
And then he's like 5'3", so it's just like, ugh.
Look at me right now.
And we didn't know.
I'm 6'4".
We didn't think you are, sis. Oh, that dude from
I'm 6'4".
So yeah, like, we didn't even have an inkling that they were romantically involved until
the shooting.
And then when that happened,
see, like, when it happened, like, everybody was being like real hush hush about everything.
Yeah.
And they said that Tory did it, but then I was still like, she didn't say that he did it. So I don't want to say that, it's happened. You know what I'm saying? So I was still banging that drip, drip, drip. You know what I'm saying? I was still like, Tory got hits for days. I'm going to just keep banging his shit for now.
Right.
And then she came out and said something. Which, by the way, she actually came out with a freestyle where she said something about the shooting or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
But she came out and said it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, it feels wrong, man.
It's like R. Kelly style wrong. That's how it feels.
Yo, Chanel just bought like this brand new caddy. You know what I'm saying? And we was whipping in it. And she had some music banging. Like, the sound system's fucking incredible, right? And she was like, I don't know if I should play this song. She was queuing up some Tory Lanez. She's like, I don't know if I should play this song. And it's like, to be honest with you, I kind of feel weird about it now.
Yeah. I feel mad weird. And like, even the other day when I was out, I don't remember what I was doing. I was driving around, but I really wanted to play She Told Me, like, loud on my speakers. And it does. And I was pissed because I was just like, I can't, like, I was about to go to it and I was like, you're wrong if you go to this. Like, especially with all the talk around protect black women and da-da-da-da. I'm like, even though it bangs, it's like, you gotta stand. But I'm like, nobody around. But I was like, nah, man, you can't do it.
You can't do it.
Just like the R. Kelly stuff. You can't do it. Like, all of it's abuse. So I mean,
So-
you can't keep putting money in his pocket. I feel like would it be will it be different if all right?
I don't know if I don't know if I'm angry, but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Like you don't shoot anybody.
Why is
You don't shoot anybody.
Did you see
But
how-
you don't shoot like America's African American sweetheart.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't do that.
Sweetheart, I don't know.
I would say she was America's African American sweetheart.
Okay, let's go with that.
So we'll say African American because they don't really show us love like that. You know what I'm saying?
I prefer black. But
Also, Cardi's not black. You know, even though she's on top too.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But African American sweetheart,
yeah, she is.
you shot her. How?
You shot her. But like, I feel like, all right, let's talk about this for a minute. 'Cause I haven't said this to anybody yet. I feel like he didn't have a fighting chance to get her to go anywhere because he's so tiny. This is not making fun of the situation, by the way. I hope it doesn't sound like it. Does it? Okay, then I'll quit. But it was not right anyways. I think he was doing some weird stuff.
He had to have been doing some weird stuff.
But I'm just explaining, like, that's what I think he did. And like,
At the end of the day, it's not okay.
No.
It's not okay to shoot anybody. It's not okay. More specifically, it's not okay to shoot African American sweetheart.
and then
Megan Thee Stallion.
to take it another level, like she even was saying how she wasn't, because remember she said she got shot, like she was shot in the foot when they got caught by the police, and she wasn't trying to do nothing crazy because all the killings of black people in America that's going on right now. She felt like she didn't want to put anybody into jeopardy, and she didn't want to get all of them shot. That's basically what she was saying, and like, it made perfect sense. So with that being said too, that's what pissed me off even further because of the black on black crime thing. Like we already getting, I don't know what could have happened to her. Could have got infected, whatever the case may be. Even, getting shot itself is like horrible. But you putting other black people in danger of their lives, and we already got to deal with all this other shit going on right now. Like, you wild. So it gives me 2 reasons not to listen to this dude no more. Like, I can't do it. 1, black on black crime. 2, protecting black women. Obviously, some black women as well. So, I mean, both of those together, like, I can't.
You gotta protect black women.
Can't do it anymore.
Gotta protect black women. Speaking of other verses, Monica and Brandy just did a versus.
Yes.
I also want to make sure we talk about that because there was a lot of slander going around about Monica being on top. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandy couldn't hold like a flame to her, and I'm just like, y'all not remember? Brandy gave us Moesha. Brandy gave us the Black Cinderella.
And
Brandy gave us Angel in Disguise.
She gave us a lot of tracks on top of that. Like, I think they pointed it out when
Hits.
Monica was like first showing up. She said like, oh, you have a lot of experience in, all types of media, which we all know of. But I think everybody, in light of all of that going on, I feel like people forgot how many hits and tracks she really had.
She
And then
was flaming.
people kept trying to say, oh, they won. And then I think Billboard released an article and they showed who won each round, and Brandy wound up on top, which
She
is
did? I didn't see that.
They said she was the winner or whatever. They had some ties for some of them, but for the most part, Brandy has had a lot better features. Let me say that. She's had more quality features. Is that good? Is that bad to say?
Features.
Like she had Kanye, she had Chris Brown.
Features on her song.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has some pretty good features.
And then Monica just sounds salty the entire. I'm like, girl, like, don't. It just was in bad taste to me to keep talking about how many opportunities you weren't given. Like, she just came off as salty the entire verses. That's what bothered me. And like, even what you were saying, like, people were, rooting for her the entire time. I think people completely forgot her discography, Brandy's discography.
Yep.
I have no disrespect against Monica, because I listen to Monica too sometimes. I didn't know a lot of the tracks she was playing, honestly. I knew the mainstream ones.
Monica got joints too.
She got joints too. But it's not comparable, and I think they just did the Brandy versus Monica thing just because they did The Boy Is Mine. Because in any other situation, I wouldn't pair Brandy with Monica.
So who would you pair Brandy with then?
Maybe a Toni Braxton or a... Come on now, for real.
Toni, she got some tracks, but I don't know if she fucking with Brandy.
She's better. She's done better commercially than Monica, hasn't she?
don't know. We have to look that up. We definitely have
But
to
she
look
had
that
that area where she had like the, Break My Heart phase. She had
Ooh.
all of that stuff, all those older tracks. And then she had that period where she came back like Brandy did, when she came out with Full Moon and all that stuff. And What About Us, and the track with Kanye West and all that stuff. They had that break of time, and then they came back, and you got to see a second wave. I think, Monica did it too, but I feel like their subject matter was somewhat a little bit more in sync than Monica. Like, I would have paired Monica with like a Keisha Cole.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jinx, you said that.
Yeah, you said that, Jinx. But that's what I would have paired with. But I legit think they just got paired up because of that song they did together.
Yeah, Keisha Cole would have been dope, but I can't think of somebody who would actually be like crazy competition for Brandy. To be honest with you,
Well,
I feel like
you mean like where it would be like they're similar? Because people were like, no, actually, no, I didn't say Mariah Carey. But Mariah Carey popped in, and that's probably why I brought it up, because I was surprised to see her. I was like, Mariah! So
Mariah, I think, is a little bit bigger.
She is, but you would not put her against Brandy. No.
You wouldn't put her against Brandy.
No. She's been more commercially successful than Beyonce. If whoever want to, get in the rink and talk about this, we can talk about it. She's been more commercially successful than Beyonce. So, and that's not really saying a lot because Rihanna's done better commercially.
To who?
Than Beyonce.
Beyonce? Yeah.
Not concert wise. I'm talking
she actually
hits,
has.
guys.
She actually has.
She's higher, yes. So
she got more hits on the Billboard, everything.
So honestly, like, I would not put Rihanna and Mariah Carey together, but they are definitely like top tier, top of the top tier.
Tippity top tier.
Yes.
Yep.
So Mariah Carey would not be in that conversation. I'm not sure. Like, I can only think of Toni Braxton for Brandy.
Toni Braxton. It's got to be somebody else. I feel like I'll probably take too much time trying to think on this.
Me too. Honestly.
I mean, the verse is over. It was amazing. And at the end of the day, this is supposed to be about like congratulating artists who've given us like a bunch of great music over the years. You know what I'm saying?
I had an amazing time watching it. Yeah.
And I had a great time listening to Sitting in My Room when that came in. I was like, woo!
Got to ask the tracks I forgot about. Like, I didn't forget about them, but they just kind of went into my recessive memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of forgot about it, but
damn,
I was able to gain that.
Hits,
because My Angel in Disguise came on, I was like, I forgot about this song.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
I forgot about someone who was like, Monica had you though. And but I didn't go at.
I'm bad with like song titles.
I didn't go at any of them. No. She's a little too like.
You wasn't rocking with her energy.
Like, I do like her.
You didn't like her energy that night?
I didn't like her energy that night, but I like her songs. Let me say that.
She got joints. She got joints.
Yeah.
What do you think the next verse is?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I've heard some rumors. I did see Timbaland actually it was just Timbaland hinting that I can't wait to see, like, you guys can't wait to see what's going next.
Every week.
He does?
Wait. Oh my God. Wait till we got next.
Wait till
you thought the last one was fire. You thought the last one is fire. This ain't shit compared to the next one. He does it every fucking
I didn't
week.
know. I haven't seen the verses in a minute.
And they come with
But
some
I was getting hype. I was like, who could it be?
They come with some heat every time.
But I heard Ashanti accepted a versus submission from Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole and Ashanti.
Yes.
Maybe
I think it would be a good matchup.
That might be a good matchup.
I don't know who else I'll put against Ashanti. I can't think of anybody else.
Well, see, I keep forgetting to put like J-Lo in some of these conversations.
Question. It's a big question. Yeah, me too. But I think they're just trying to go straight, like black people versus. Because I haven't seen.
See, I would agree with that, except Scott Storch was on it.
Scott Storch is like black though. He doesn't make anything non-black.
He's invited to the barbecue.
Yeah, he's invited to the barbecue.
Okay.
We don't. Yeah.
He made some joints for us.
Yes, but in addition to that, and he ate some fire. So he made some. What do you call it?
Scorchers. You could say a Scott Storcher.
You know what? He's done some hits for us. I'm not gonna let that pass by the way after this video over. I'm gonna keep going with that corny joke you just told.
Mm-hmm.
But he's put together some of the hits though. Yeah, he did Fat Joe Lean,
Lean Back,
and all that stuff like that. So it makes sense why he
just a little bit. Like 50 Cent, Candy Shop.
Yes, when he played that, I was like, what? He did that. But like I said,
I want to see another producers versus, but
I don't.
A lot of people are mad about this. Justin Timberlake versus Usher.
I would love to see it.
A lot of people are mad
I would
about
like
it.
to see it.
Everybody's just like, Justin can't hold a candle.
That's the same thing that's the same situation as the Brandy versus Monica thing. Everybody who knows music, who's into music, knows that Justin, like honestly, I talked to somebody else about this too. Justin is what Usher was supposed to become.
Damn. So I was like, what? I said it. What? I said it.
He didn't. Yeah, he's based like Usher took too long to go into other genres. And then when he did, he had a what was it? Oh my God. Yeah, oh my God. Once he had that was a huge hit. He took too long doing that. If he kept rolling it out at the time, I think he took a big ass break after Confessions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so Justin is basically, which I know that's gonna piss y'all off, but I'm speaking facts right now. This is the same thing as you saying like Brandy
controversial
is better than
controversial.
It is. Like you can't.
But see, like a lot of people were saying that Justin can't hold like a torch to Usher because Usher's been out longer. But like you forget,
that
Justin Timberlake's also been out a very long time, at least 20 years.
I'm sorry.
20 years from when one of the NSYNC albums came out.
Yeah.
There was an NSYNC album that came out in the year 2000. That was 20 years ago.
Right. And didn't 8701 come out in 2001? And then there was something before that. Oh yeah, Usher. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So they've been out around the same time. Not to mention like Justin Timberlake was in the Mickey Mouse Club, on TV.
Wouldn't we say that Monica's been doing it longer? Because Monica's first album came out when she was 12, and Brandy's came out when she was 14.
Well, see, Monica's 2 years younger than Brandy. So, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's got something to do with it.
I understand what you
If they dropped the same year, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if they dropped the same year.
I still don't think that's fair.
I would love to see it.
They said Usher's been out longer.
That's
worse. He's had a longer amount of time.
But at the same time,
if
we're shitting on Usher, Justin Timberlake put out Man of the Year.
I know.
He put out Man of the Year.
I know. No, I agree with you. Everybody has a shit album though.
I mean, he always said that he was gonna do, well, he used to say this in interviews that he was gonna do like a country album for his grandpa who passed or whatever. Now, Man of the Woods. I
didn't correct you on that either.
Didn't
as you can tell,
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. You were close. You named the Schoolboy Q track, but we were in the same lane.
Right. Damn. I did name that Man of the Year. Yeah, Man of the Woods.
It's a goodie.
Man of the Woods wasn't exactly like a country album, but he had some tracks where he collaborated with like a country artist and
But I understood why he put that
wearing
out.
flannel in the fucking woods and shit. And
I feel like a lot of artists, once they get far enough in their career to where they're established and they can finally put out something that's really from the heart, they do that. Because Nelly Furtado did that too. Like can't remember the name of this. The name of it was Folklore, and I still like the album a lot. But she didn't do that until she got really like established, and then she was like, "Now I'm gonna put something out that's like me," instead of like trying to catch everybody's attention.
Check it out.
Yeah, it is.
I like the one she did with Timberland too.
Yeah, I want to put promiscuous on it.
Everything that Timberland be touching.
Turns to gold, turns to platinum.
Timberland King.
But yeah,
what would Usher play if Justin Timberlake came out with My Love? What would he play?
Love in the Club featuring Beyonce.
That don't hit the same way. It just don't hit the same way.
Both of them were club hits.
They were club hits, but like they don't hit the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get like a big hit, you're supposed to match it with another hit that was up there. So would you play Confessions against that? I personally would play Confessions against My Love.
Why wouldn't you do Confessions against like Cry Me a River or What Goes Around Comes Around or What Goes Around?
We'll see. Like Usher got more. I feel like Usher got like more slow jams than he does like bangers.
That's true. What's the
that
song
were
with
actually,
Ludacris?
like,
he could actually win that round when he puts out Lovers and Friends. He's gonna win that round. Whatever Justin plays.
Yeah, Justin can't play nothing against that.
No, Lovers and Friends was
And he's got
Yeah, it's gonna win. We know which ones Usher's gonna win, no
Like,
matter what Justin plays. We know what Justin's gonna win, no matter what Usher plays.
You can't even play Sexy back against just it don't hit this thing.
What about Rock Your Body? That's a tie.
Ooh.
Rock Your Body against
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh.
I'm talking about like if he did Rock Your Body and then Usher did. What if Usher did what's that one song that he did? It was on the album that he did like a bunch of videos for the songs on. Like,
Red Light?
Not Red Light. It was a different one.
Red Light was fine.
The one when he was in the arena and he had the white suit on.
Arena in a white suit? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that was. The most random snippet. I tried.
I don't know what that is. Can you stack my boo?
Caught up.
Oh yeah.
Or what's that other song he had?
Can you put
on 8701?
Can you put my boo against my love?
No.
You say my boo go on top?
My boo's gonna lose.
My boo's gonna lose to my love.
Absolutely.
Say you swear.
I swear.
They still playing my boo on the radio now.
So?
You know what?
He does have a lot of like hits that people are like, in tune with, but like,
some hits that just
people forget. Ever since he put out Man of the Woods, and ever since he did the Janet Jackson incident, he was invited to the cookout.
He's still invited to the cookout.
Yes, but people are a little bit more hesitant to.
I feel like he wasn't invited into the cookout until after the Janet Jackson incident.
That's debatable. That's debatable, but
because when he did that, he was still in his first album. People were starting to rock with him. He had Pharrell and stuff. Then he came out with Future Sex Love Sounds.
That was a goodie.
And then people was like, and then he put that one song out. I forget what was that slow jam he had that he did a remix with Beyonce on it.
I just said Love in the Club. Love in the Club.
No, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, if your love was on he gone.
He had that joint.
Wait, but
it was around that time they
so
started inviting him to the cookout.
Listen to this, everyone. Though, you have to remember that Justin can play songs he was featured on.
Yes.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yes.
It's a whole different conversation.
Yes.
With that being said, I
on
think
top of that, he was on a Meek Mill track this year.
But I think that's the only person who could go against what?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
I think it's called Believe.
Oh, okay.
It was a joint.
But
I think it's all right.
Bottom line, that's one of them that I would love to see, and I think that I feel like there's no other matchups for Justin Timberlake or for Usher that would be like a good opponent. Like I can't think of anybody for each of them, to be honest with you. But like I said, I think what's next is Ashanti and Keisha go, and then after that we'll see. I guess I'm kind of over the producer ones because they did so many at the beginning, and I like the singing ones right now.
There's still a couple new producers that I wanted to see.
Yeah, I would like to see Travis Scott.
Like I wanted to see DJ
I know he's early
versus Mike Will Made It, because they was dominating for at least 5 years straight.
That's true. That would be a good one. I would watch that.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, and they had the writers one for a minute too. Wasn't that like Neo and Sean Gary?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
That got real ghetto real fast.
I figured it would. But Sean Gary was just
on Twitter. They keep posting it on Twitter. It was like Versus has come a long way, and they show Sean Garrett all up in the screen with his fucking wet lips, his greased up lips, talking about yeah, I'm the best, nigga. Fuck you, fuck boy. He was saying some wild shit. And it was you know what? Versus has come a long way because you see the Brandy and Monica, they look very resputable. They're looking real good. Very, very civilized. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everybody was like, why don't they, this is supposed to be a versus. I wish I could see them actually being opponents. Everybody's trying to see that. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but I very much enjoyed the Joe Scott, Erykah Badu one. They were so loving to each other. How you doing? How you doing? We haven't seen each other.
They both so cute.
Yeah, so good.
They so cute.
I'm like, oh. It
They
was
so
like,
adorable.
I wanted a pot of tea after I watched that.
I love me some Jill Scott.
They were. Oh, I thought you was about to refer to the pictures. Everybody was like,
Love me some Jill Scott.
But yeah. So with that being said, do you think Future should be in one?
Future.
A verse?
I mean, we'll see. Like, Future do got hits on top of hits on top of hits. Except who would you put against Future?
I feel like his hits are like really like underground. You know, underground. Like, has he been a chart topper? We've enjoyed his songs. Like, I think he's had like 2 or 3 chart toppers. What? Like,
March Madness is like an unofficial hit.
Who? Oh, March Madness.
March Madness.
That was a goodie.
March Madness. And then he had that one joint with The Weeknd. That joint was hard.
Or not?
Low Life.
Low Life. But those, yeah, I don't know.
He isn't on or not.
You'd have to pair him with like a C-list. Like maybe like a Belly. I don't know. You know what I mean. You're not exactly Belly, but like,
see, like,
I love Belly, by the way.
I can't think of like a lot of people who can like really get with Future based on like what Future is brought to the culture. And stuff.
Well, he gonna need something because all these women coming after him for this child support. He gonna need
You heard about old girl, like his latest? She want $53,000 a month. $53,000 a month.
53
For one baby.
One child.
I was reading this on the Shade Room, and it was like so many like breezies in the comment talking about some. Well, she deserved that. The baby need to be living the same lifestyle as the papa, and I'm just like, well, he
That's
got
not
like 12 babies though.
He should have been already learned his lesson. You learned your lesson. Actually, half of that. Actually, before half, but I'm being a little lenient. He's had half of that to get his act together, and he's still. And I'm sure every woman has tried that on him. This is not his first rodeo of getting somebody demanding thousands of dollars. Let me just say thousands of dollars every month from him. And I'm sure he overstates how much he's paying to these women because they wouldn't be pursuing it like that if they didn't think he had it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's his fault. That's money he could be spending elsewhere and other women's lives that he could be leaving peaceful. Not saying children are anything bad at all, because I love children and everything. But I'm saying like to keep your situation peaceful and to keep everybody healthy. To be honest, because I don't know how much how much of his seed he's been spreading
$53,000 on
outside of the children's he's been. What?
What do you even spend $53,000 a month on? What are you spending on?
Lots of courts will grant you that stuff too.
Some lady was like in the comments, she was talking about something.
Well, but I hear
since the baby is like a celebrity's baby, the baby's got to go to like a private school, which is like $20,000 or something like that. And I'm like, $20,000 a month?
I didn't consider that. That's a good point.
Is it $20,000 a month for a private
I think
school?
it's yearly.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's not that expensive.
Or a semester, maybe twice a year. But that's not monthly though. That's not monthly.
Right. I think she's trying to get over on it.
But yeah, they just the way the courts work, I hear, is like they try to mirror the child to have a life that they would have had if they were still with their father, basically. And yeah.
Whew.
But I mean, the women, I'm not gonna put it all on Future. Like the women should already know how many children he's had and protect themselves, unless that's really the life that they want. Because I mean, I'm sure they get paid.
She said 53,000, and then he was like, "I give you 1,000." I'm like,
he can't do 1,000. 1,000 is like
I'm gonna give you 1,000.
1,000 is too close to your regular man.
Ooh,
so like, so if I was a man making like say $60K a year, 50, 60K a year, 40K a year even maybe, that would be like what the courts would judge him. They judged him 3,200.
That's
because they said that what we saw what his salary was per month.
Yeah, the salary. Said
so maybe like 1,100 is like what they give people who make like 100K a year, which is very low for somebody who makes 100K a year. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, but they said
But 3 times that
he made like 30,000 a month, which would be
30,000 a month?
Stellar to make 30,000 a month right now.
Oh, just kidding. My math was off. I thought they said that he made 330K a month.
No, 30K a month. So it would like round out to about like 300 something.
Well,
a year.
he has other children that he has to pay as well. So
I think they bullshitted the papers because like they probably weren't even counting like the net worth. That's probably what it is because the net worth says he's worth 40 million or something like that.
Regardless, he needs to lock it down, lock it up, and lock it down. He needs to shut down the factory. Okay, get one of those little things. It's reversible too, which I don't even know why he would want to reverse it. But
vasectomy?
Go ahead and get it. Okay.
Go ahead and get the vasectomy.
Homeboy needs to stock up at Costco on some condoms because clearly he likes to get down a lot.
He raw dogging.
He is like you don't, and these aren't even the only women I'm sure he's been raw dogging. So it's like
just the ones he got caught up.
Just
with.
the ones that got pregnant, and it's hard to get pregnant. It really is. I've never been pregnant before, but I hear even people who's been trying. It's pretty hard. It's like a very small.
She was going into something else for a minute too.
No, I hear the percentage chance of it happening is very low. Let me just say that. But yeah.
Yeah, there was one more thing that you mentioned you wanted to talk about, like the guy who proposed to his girl who just had his baby.
Yeah, I saw it on Shade Room.
How you feel about that?
Everybody was sending it to me, and like people I talked to about it were like, "Oh, that's so sweet, that's so great."
So basically, she had a baby. Right after she had the baby, he's in the hospital room with her. He proposed to her.
Yep.
Well, I don't know exactly how I feel about something like that, but
First of all, I'd be too tired. I'd be like, really? Like,
seems a little weird.
Number two, my biggest thing, because like people were like, no. Like, why didn't you propose to me before you got me pregnant? Now it just feels like you're doing it because you got me knocked up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mandatory. I don't want to marry somebody who feels like it's mandatory. That does not appease me at all. Like, I don't understand why people are glorifying that. And I feel like it's a little pick-me in there. It's a little bit of a pick-me thing to say, oh my goodness, he proposed to me, which is basically glorifying, oh, he wants to marry me, period. Like, oh, I should be happy a man wants to marry me. No.
It's kind of a weird time to like all of a sudden decide like this is the time to marry her. This is the time to propose. Like,
it's inconsiderate.
Did he like buy the ring like the night that she went into labor? Or?
Ew, and another part of it is like, are you trying to reward me for pushing your, like, is this my push gift? Like,
push gift?
No, those are things, it's a real thing.
Is it for real?
Yeah, it's like a push gift. Like, you give a woman a gift for, carrying and then giving birth to a child.
That's a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's kind of a older generation thing, but it's not really our millennials and Gen Z type of a thing, but it was a thing.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So I think Joe Budden got to send a push gift, but he old as fuck. So sorry, Joe, but he old. So I mean, that's kind of his generation. And I'm sure, like, if I was dating a man who was that old, he told me he had to give me a push gift.
That's so.
He got her like a car, like a Benz.
Got her a Benz.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a thing, but that's how it would feel. Like, oh, like you just gave birth. Here's your present. Good job. Like, be gone.
Kind of weird. Man, some weird stuff going on in the world right now.
This is crazy. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Okay. This is the first edition of the Avid Dreams podcast. We probably gonna do this like maybe like bi-weekly or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually I want to get to the point where we like start bringing in guests and stuff.
That'd be fun.
Maybe like a different artist or a different like people from like different types of people from like different facets of entertainment, like maybe like makeup artists, recording artists, singers, rappers, producers,
stuff like that.
all that type of stuff. But yeah, I want to evolve this over some time. I want to say thank you for joining us. Make sure once again you like this video, comment,
subscribe,
hit
ding,
the
ding,
bell.
ding, ding, ding. Oh, how did that happen? That was so cool.
Make sure you hit the bell. And thank you once again for joining us for the Avid Dreams podcast.